gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 237. Today, I want to talk about something that has been bugging me. It's been bugging me now for a while, but it really sort of came to a head earlier this week. But before we get to that, I don't want to let Josh down. I actually already finished the vlog. I'm coming back and get you exactly. So Josh, the king of Tiege Hanley content, recently published a video on the Tiege channel, which we will link to down below, the 10 best men's hairstyles that women love. Gentlemen, it's below. Now back to our regularly scheduled rant. That's what you're getting today. The interview that I did for Mixergy with Andrew Warner, it got published. It got published on Monday. And the title of the video was something about, me and money, and I got upset. And I emailed them and said, you gotta take that you gotta change that title. And so they ended up doing it, but I listened to the interview and it just made me cringe. It made me, and I couldn't even get past I hate talking about money. And it seems like when you are in sort of this world in terms of like online, like business, online, like in entrepreneurship, like everybody wants to talk about money. And I get it, right? I get it. Like money's sexy. Like, oh, how much money did you make? Oh, you make this much money. Oh, like people want to talk about money. But for me, the reason why I hate talking about money so much, other than I feel like it's nobody's business. I'm kind of old school in that regard. The other reason why I hate talking about money is because I feel like when you talk and focus on money, it robs whatever you're doing, and the reason why you're generating whatever money you're generating, it robs it of its soul. The reason why I started a business, the reason why I ever wanted to be an entrepreneur from the age of 12 years old with my fitness center, it was never about the money. It was about wanting to help people feel good about themselves. And from that age, that's what it was about. It has never been about money in terms of making a lot of money so I could drive a nice car, or making a lot of money so you can buy a watch, or making a lot that. It has never been about the money for me. Now, I know that there are a lot of people that correlate the two, right? If you're successful, that means you make money. That means that you have stuff. That means that you can buy whatever. But I have never wanted stuff. I've never cared about it. What I've wanted is to feel fulfilled. What I have wanted is to feel successful. When I had $5,000 in my bank account, that was my FU money. That was the moment in my life when everything changed. And I know that this might be hard for some people to understand. And it seems like in a world of consumerism, in a world of everybody's a baller, everybody's grinding, everybody's hustling, everybody's making it rain, to hear somebody say that it's not about the money is weird, right? You're like, wait a second, then why are you doing it? For me, it was about feeling accomplished. It was me feeling like I made a difference, feeling like I achieved something. For me, it has always been about validation. It's wanting to help people. It's wanting to help make people feel better about themselves. That is why I do what I do. That is why I did what I did. That is why I've always done what I've done. And money perverts everything. It changes the way people look at things. It changes the way people look at you. And that is why I hate talking about it. $5,000, that was the moment at which my life changed. Because for the first time in my life, I didn't think about money. I didn't focus on it. Because for my entire life, up until that day, every day I was thinking about how I was going to make money. Every day I was thinking about how I was going to hustle, how I was going to pay this, how I was going to not pay this because I could be 2 weeks late on this, and I could move money from here, and I could pay this, and hopefully by then I could have enough. It's always been this like big fear from the age of like 0, right? I remember this day like it was yesterday. When I think I was like 13 years old or something like that, and I asked my mom, so I guess I can't remember it like it was yesterday. I can remember the feeling, and I can remember the conversation. I can't remember the specific date or the age, but I wanted to go get a piece of pizza with my buddy. There's this pizzeria called Charo's in Skipback, Pennsylvania, and there was a slice of pizza. You could get it for $1.25, and I didn't have $1.25, and so I went to my mom. I said, "Mom, can I have $1.25 to go get a piece of pizza?" We did not have an extra $1.25 in order to go get a pizza. All right, that's how how real it was. And so when I had $5,000 in my bank account, there was one day that I didn't think about money, just one day. And I was like, at the end of the day, I realized, I'm like, I didn't stress out about money today. I feel incredible. That's crazy. Next day, same thing happened. It was at this point that my life changed because my basic needs were met. I wasn't worried about how I was going to pay my bills. I wasn't worried about how I was going to pay my car or eat. I had enough money to survive. Now that $5,000 is probably going to cover my bills for like 2 months, but that was the first time I had financial freedom in my mind. Now today, $5,000, a little different, right? But it was at this point that everything in my life got better because all of the brain power that I was focused on, all the things that I was worried about in terms of paying my bills, it was gone. I wasn't having to use my brain power or worry about that. And it allowed me to think about other things. It allowed me to be creative and actually do what I wanted. And this was the point that everything in my life changed. At that moment, $5,000, when everything got better, everything changed. And once you have enough to cover your bills, once you know that you're cool and your basic needs are met, like for me, that was the most money I ever had. I was so super happy. And I got to be honest, if I'm truly real with you guys, when I made, in terms of revenue, or I should say, revenue, annual revenue, when I made $100,000, that's when I was like, yo. That's honestly, I think, when I was financially the happiest. And the reason is because, and I'm not, and I know that there are going to be some of you that are like, oh, poor you. And that's not what I'm, that's why, another reason why I hate talking about it, because I am not saying poor me. I am not saying that. But at $100,000, I had like 3 times the amount of money I had ever made in my life. My expenses were still like super low. I was living in the same house. I was driving the RAV4, or actually at that point it was the Infinity. Everything was cool, and I was like crazy excited because I felt like, wow, I made $100,000, like $100,000. Even today, $100,000 is a lot of money. It is a lot of money. $100,000 is more than like 95 or 99% of people actually make in a year. That is a ton of money. One of the other shitty things about the internet is it will totally warp your perception of a dollar. And that's the other thing that really upsets me, is that there are a lot of you out there, there are a lot of people that look at like the internet as the reality in the real world. Now it is for some people. If you can figure out how to make a buck online, if you figure out a product, if you figure out a mechanism, if you figure it out, you can typically scale it. But the problem is, a lot of people that are starting now, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that have never had a real job or have never actually seen how it works in terms of life, they think that that's reality when it isn't. The one thing that I am so freaking happy and thankful for is that I didn't have the internet when I was growing up. I didn't have this example of excess everywhere. And all these people talking about how easy it is to make a buck and how easy it is to make money and you can sit on a beach and do that. That is bullshit. For 99.9999999% of people who actually try it, they don't. The only people who make money is the people selling those courses. I hate those courses. But I think I've talked about that before. Anyway, I am on a rant of epic proportion, and it all started because of that damn interview. I didn't promote that interview. I didn't talk about it. I didn't share it. I didn't want people to go there. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed of people talking, like hearing me talk about money. It just, it makes me feel so dirty, and I know that I am alone. And I know that there are some of you that are like, yo, you're totally lying. Like, this is just all, really? Do you really think I'm lying? I hate talking about money so much. It robs the joy, it robs the passion, it robs the essence and spirit of what you're doing and why I started doing what I do. Now, I know that there are a lot of people that that's all they want. They want to make a lot of money so they have financial freedom. And I think that is the takeaway. Financial freedom is amazing. And I guess that's kind of what I was saying with my $5,000 FU money. But there's a difference in having a passion. There's a difference in doing something because you truly want to help people feel good about themselves, and people that do it for the money. Now, I'm not saying that I don't like making money. I just hate talking about money. And it's not even like a privacy thing. Like, I don't want people to know anything. It's just like, I just feel like, who cares? Like, it's boring. Money is boring. When you have enough to pay your bills, when you have enough to take care of your family and to eat and not worry about it, congratulations. That is hard to achieve. Anything else, like, good for you. Invest it, right? Or save it, or do whatever you need to do so that someday, if you want to sit on a beach and sip Mai Tais, you can do that. But I just hate talking about it, and it embarrasses me to talk about it. I feel uncomfortable. I feel like ripping my skin. I feel like I hate talking about money. The other issue with talking about money is that whenever you hear like the big sexy numbers like 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, $100 million, that's gross revenue, right? The difference between gross revenue and actually profit is like seriously, if you're doing $100 million, chances are you would just spend like 95, 96% of that in order to generate it, which means out of that 100 million, you're probably only profiting like 3 or 4 million. Now, is 3, 4 million a lot of money? Yeah, of course, but you hear 100, that's a lot different than 3 or 4, if that makes sense. And so anyway, unless you're savvy, unless you understand that, the big numbers, that is gross revenue and not profit or profitability or what you're actually sticking in your pocket at the end of the day or the month or the week or the year, it can be annoying. Anyway, I'm like, this is such a touchy subject for me. I don't know why it gets me so worked up and so pissed off and so like, oh, because the interesting thing, and here's probably where things get weird, it's not that I don't want to make money. It's that I don't want to talk about it. I don't want that to be the focus. I want to talk about strategy. I want to talk about products. I want to talk about, marketing. I want to talk about starting in different ways that you can, like, that's what gets me excited. I love being an entrepreneur. And one of the ways as an entrepreneur you can measure your success is by the money, right? And I get that. And that is one thing that I do look at because I have goals. I've got goals for my businesses. And so that's where it gets kind of weird and a little bit fuzzy. Because on one hand, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it, which I don't. But on the other hand, I still want to make it because if I'm not, that means I'm going backwards. And I definitely don't want to do that. I'm a weirdo. Like you didn't know that already. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about money and why I hate talking about it. It's not that I don't want to earn it, but I hate talking about it. And so that is the way that it is. And that podcast, I hate it. I hate it. And I just don't like it. Anyway, so that's enough about me bitching about money. There was one business question that I wanted to get to because it does have to do with money. And so now let's talk about that and maybe I can get fired up. And all bets are off at this point, gentlemen. I'm going crazy. So this business question comes from our friend Abdullah Ahmad. He says, love watching your videos, Aaron. I have a simple question for you, which the question is not simple. I'm in medical school and on my way of becoming a doctor. However, right now I have a different prospect before me. I recently got into a terrible car accident, which put me through quite a few surgeries. I'm okay now. That's good to hear. However, as a result, I'm looking at about $200,000 insurance company payout in the next few months. I want to make something of this money, and any ideas I have require way more than $200K. How do I double my money or invest it in a way with a relatively quick return? I want something that is quick, and I'm willing to put in the effort. This is such an opportunity for me, and I don't want to squander it. Well, this is an incredible opportunity and something that most people do not face. Now, I am glad and thankful that you're okay. But there are some things that you said in this that make me super nervous for you, all right? $200,000 is a ton of money. In terms of doubling your money, anybody who tells you they can double your money, like, you let me know. If you find some way to double your money in a short amount of time, you got to let me know because I would love that. Everybody would love that. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. And anybody who tells you they can do that or that they can teach you or show you or use that money in order to do it is probably doing something illegal or lying or going to steal your money. If there may be a way, I shouldn't say that, but there is not a legal way that I know of or something that doesn't involve a crazy amount of risk. You can take that $200,000, right? You could go to the casino, red or black, put it on there, boom, and you could do it. You could double it quick and easy, but the reality is it is super risky. You could also lose it like that. And anybody who tells you that they can turn that $200,000 or any money, $5, $10, and double it quickly and easily is lying to you or doing something illegal, or the risk level is too high. You've got to understand that investing is one of those things where there is risk. There is risk in any investment, right? Certain investments are going to be lower risk, and you've got to determine what your tolerance is. Now, I don't want you to think that, hey, at some point I'm going to be a doctor and then I'm going to make a lot of money so I can be riskier with this. You know, this is like a gift. You know, $200,000, this is something that is almost like found money. And I just don't want you to squander it or waste it thinking that you need to grow it like super fast. What I would do with that money probably is be smart about it. I would invest it, you know, maybe, you know, Vanguard, like mutual funds, like there are things that you can do that are going to provide, you know, some growth. Now, the growth isn't going to be astronomical. And if you are looking to use this money in order to start another business or start a business, you know, you just need to be careful, man. I just don't want you to risk that money when you probably should put at least like 2/3 of it away, right? Like put away $150,000, like in something that is going to return, you know, 3, 4, 5% interest a year and make it, you know, have it be as safe as possible. What I would recommend, honestly, is take that $200,000 and talk to a financial advisor. Or with $200,000, you can actually have somebody at like Vanguard with that amount of money help you. Maybe invest $100,000 there, a little bit safer, right? A little more structured. Have somebody looking after it. If you want to gamble with $50,000, like do that. But I just don't want you to risk losing that money. And the way that you're talking, I don't feel or think that you have a good grasp on money. And so I don't want you to do anything stupid. And so get education, talk to somebody, but do not listen to anybody who can tell you or will tell you that they can quickly or help you turn that money into like 400 or even 300. Like, it's hard to make money. And anything with a great return comes an incredible risk. And so be careful, my friend. Be careful. Don't waste it. And that, gentlemen, is where I'm going to wrap this Monopolize vlog up. If you have a business question down below, please start it with business question. Next week, I'm going to give you some incredible Tiege Hanley updates. I'm also going to answer some of your questions. I apologize for getting so passionate, for getting so worked up, but it bothers me. It always bothers me. It strikes a chord. It turns my stomach. It makes me want to vomit every time somebody asks me about money. But I know that if I'm going to continue to do these interviews, it's something it's sexy, that people want to talk about. I need to figure out a better way to deal with it. I need to either get comfortable with it or not do the interviews. I think that's kind of the the position I'm in, or just say, hey, I don't want to talk about it. But apparently, in the moment, I get caught off guard. I'm not that smart, and I get rattled. And apparently, I got rattled. Gentlemen, I love you. Thank you so much for everything. We at Tiege Hanley think you are better than our double monk strap shoes. Guys, you're incredible. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. And anybody who says they can double your money, run like hell.